Okay, listen up. This is a PSA for all men. If you're not a man, keep scrolling.
No, not today. I've got to hear this.
Come here. Come a little closer. You are not the prize.
Wait, what was that?
You are not the prize. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, the last time I checked, a prize is something that people compete over to get. The last time I checked, you're not seeing a whole lot of men anymore competing to get the attention of women. But we certainly are seeing a lot of women, a lot of the same women, competing for the attention of the same 1% of men. So, who's the prize?
Men have it easier in society. Would you be willing to switch gender roles with a man?
No,
Why not?
no. See his power.
Why are women more likely to switch gender roles with another woman than she would switch gender roles with a man?
Again, see his power.
Okay.
I don't know.
So if pussy is power, why are women always talking about how hard it is to be a woman in our society?
Cause dudes ain't I don't know.
Why aren't guys allowed to say that women ain't
Because that's disrespectful. What if your
Why-
mama was shit?
Well, once again, then why is it not equally disrespectful to say that dudes ain't if women talk about equality?
You know what? That's a good question.
Is it possible that women just want double standards instead of equality?
Maybe.
So what advice would you give to the men who don't trust women?
I'd say open. Don't just let one person. Don't let one female f up your image for the rest of them. You know, just treat the girl accordingly and go based off of what she shows you.
Oh, we are, honey. And what we're shown on a daily basis, well, it's not great. See, feminists like this and the former are a walking bundle of contradictions. Lead me, but don't control me. For richer or poorer, as long as you make six figures. My body, my choice, but don't look at me or I'll send in the cavalry. Now, that last one used to be balanced 100 years ago. That cavalry would arrive and assess the situation like a firefighter sifts through the rubble to find the cause. But in a feminist world, none of that matters anymore. To them, the causes are irrelevant. Actions, whether they be irresponsible or downright absurd, according to women, shouldn't result in anything other than praise and admiration. And I don't know if you've noticed, this has trickled down into every facet of daily life. And now, it may not be enough to just walk away, at least not in the same form as we've practiced for the last few decades. Allow me to demonstrate, using a recent development in the UK, a story called Violence Against Women Considered for First Time Under Government Counter-Extremism Plans.
You're not going to like this.
Extreme misogyny will be considered for the first time under government plans to combat the radicalization of young men online. Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, has ordered a review of Britain's counter-extremism strategy to urgently address gaps in the government stance, the Sunday Telegraph can reveal.
What does this mean exactly?
It will look at tackling violence against women and girls in the same way as Islamist and far-right extremism, amid fears that current Home Office guidance is too narrow. This could mean teachers will be legally required to refer pupils they suspect of extreme misogyny to prevent the government's counter-terror program.
Isn't that fascism?
It comes after warnings that misogynistic influencers are radicalizing teenage boys online. Ms. Cooper said, "For too long, governments have failed to address the rise in extremism, both online and on our streets, and we've seen the number of young people radicalized online grow. Hateful incitement of all kinds fractures and frays the very fabric of our communities and our democracy." Okay, I don't know how old all of you are, but I'm expecting I'm somewhere in the middle here, so I'll relay what I'm old enough to remember, and we'll go from there. See, when you read or hear something like hateful incitement of all kinds fractures and frays the very fabric of our communities and our democracy, it's a wordy way of saying, we're going to take away your freedoms in the name of freedom. It's the political equivalent of punching someone in the face based on the idea that maybe the bully at school won't want sloppy seconds. This is a trend that occurred before I was born, but became more and more prevalent as we plunged into the 21st century. The war on nouns. It's a trend that's happened on both sides of the aisle at one point or another, but when the progressives got a hold of the blueprint, they went hog wild. And the problem with waging war on a noun is that there is no discernible definition for policymaking. In this case, they chose to go with terror. Breaking it down even further, basically, the feminist government has decided that you and I are, well, social terrorists. And here's the problem with letting things get more interpretive than literal.
And Zola, what do you do?
I'm a recording artist and a traveling exotic dancer. Like, I just feel like you're such a pretty boy. Like, no, you're very handsome, very sexy.
Definitely not a pretty boy.
But I mean, like, I just get player vibes.
Player
It make me
vibes?
nervous, yeah, like player. I get the player.
She's a stripper.
No, she's a hooker.
Do you ever wonder how these Instagram models afford their lavish lifestyles? The luxury hotels, the designer bags, maybe frequent trips to Miami or Dubai? It's basically an open secret at this point that not all, but quite a few of these so-called models are doing unspeakable, really sick things to make their money. Some of them have been nicknamed Dubai porta potties because allegedly these mega rich clients pay to on them. And that's not even the worst of it. The glamorous photos these women post do not tell the whole story. But this has become so widespread that some women now consider going on vacation with strangers from dating apps the bare minimum for a first date. Moral of the story here is be careful who you envy on social media because you don't know what or who they did to get there.
And nobody will talk about it. Maybe for a long time because of the way the West is heading. This clip, this video, and possibly anything confronting facts will be illegal. The core issue of noun wars and euphemisms for solo escort services is that everything suddenly dissolves into semantics. I'm not selling my body. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not getting the gold shower treatment. I'm an amazing model. Or in this case, this isn't censoring perfectly sound points. It's a war on terror and we refuse to negotiate. The vomit-inducing article continues with, there are several extremism categories ranked by the Home Office as an area of concern, including Islamist, extreme right-wing, animal rights, environmental, and Northern Ireland-related extremism.
Yo, disingenuous.
There is also a category for incel, an abbreviation of the term involuntary celibate, which refers to a male subculture that includes violent feelings towards women as a result of feeling rejected. Officials now fear that this category does not capture other forms of extreme misogyny. Teachers, healthcare professionals, and local authority staff are under a legal duty to make a referral to the PREVENT scheme if they believe someone is susceptible to becoming radicalized.
Take him to be tortured.
Tortured? But Bill.
Anyone who is referred to PREVENT is then assessed by their local authority and the police to see if they need to be de-radicalized. There were 6,817 PREVENT referrals in 2022 to 23, with the highest proportion of referrals were classified under the broad category of vulnerability present but no ideology of counterterrorism risk, at 37%, followed by extreme right-wing at 19% and Islamist extremism at 11%. Yeah, we have a problem. See, it was fine walking away when it comes to the dating and marriage scheme, but now this is some next level shit. If you need a breakdown here, basically the UK government is pushing to create an anti-masculine red scare movement, where any teenager or adult who rightfully sees a woman wearing nothing at a mall and chooses to judge them accordingly will be legally obligated to go to the bureaucratic hellhole to face reconditioning. And what makes this creepy is how it's all phrased. Nothing about this mentions MGTOW or any movements tied to it that are extremely rational. They just bundle everyone up with the incels and claim that all the men that choose to walk away are sleeper agents, ready to inflict damage on unsuspecting women at a moment's notice. In a nutshell, they're not only making masculinity illegal, but reasonable judgment illegal. But how the hell can you not judge this?
So I'm a content creator, and I also am a sugar baby.
And about how much money do you make per year doing this?
Well, per month, on the lowest, I make about 20, and the highest, probably like 40-ish.
Okay, and how many years experience do you have in each industry?
Okay, well, I've been doing content creating for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
Okay.
Sugar baby, probably about less than a year.
Okay, and do you love what you do?
I do.
Why is that? Give us some details of why you love being a sugar baby.
Well, because I get to, make my own schedule pretty much. I get to, lay in bed all day if I choose to. My schedule is very free, and I love that.
You're a prostitute.
Why is it that all of the most stressful jobs are dominated by men?
Can you give us what's an example of
air traffic controllers, high-level surgeons, okay, police officers, military, all of these high-risk jobs that are very dangerous, by the way, I might add, that women typically don't go into. Why are they dominated by men if women are so good at handling stress?
You're saying it's because men have a natural affinity above women, and that's why, right? That's your explanation.
No, I'm asking you the question.
But
Since you guys are saying, no.
I would like to know your answer first.
Oh, hold on. I'm responding to what she said. She's saying women deal with stress better than men in certain situations. And I was like, okay, cool. By that logic, tell me why all the most stressful careers are dominated by men.
She's just saying that women have the capacity to do so.
Then answer the
in
question.
the same way that men do.
A lot of these careers that you're listing, right, are physical in nature.
Air traffic controller is physical? Being a pilot is physical?
I said a lot. I didn't say all, please.
And there you have it. For feminists, the specifics are poisonous. They would much rather sell themselves to the highest bidder and have people treat them like Elon Musk than get down to the dirty details that accurately portray their worth to men. Women talk a lot about how the opinions we share on Man Guide and other channels don't affect them, but if this were actually the case, why would mobs of middle-aged women be trying to make the masculine message illegal? Why would they melt down every time men get a win? Guys, I think walking away serves a purpose for the dating market. I really do. But it's clear we need to double down in every other area of life as well. This means who you vote for, who you open the door for, and most importantly, defining the difference between reasonable laws and tyranny. Speaking of tyranny, here's more. Elsewhere, police chiefs have accused online influencers of radicalizing boys into extreme misogyny in a way that is quite terrifying.
You're in the wrong county.
Maggie Blith, the NPCC lead for violence against women and girls, said young men and boys are at risk of being radicalized in the same way that terrorists draw in followers. Ms. Cooper's rapid review, which will be completed later this autumn, will form the basis of a new counter-extremism strategy, which the Home Office intends to launch early next year.
Freddie said, bring it on, bitch.
Officials will examine emerging ideologies which are gaining momentum and will assess any gaps in the current system which leave the country exposed to threats that promote violence or undermine democracy.
And you'll be nothing!
They will look at the rise of Islamist and far-right extremism, as well as beliefs which fit into broader categories such as an obsession with violence.
Okay, you're on trucks. Yes.
And as I've said time and time again, this is what happens when you give women the wheel. The UK has clearly been hijacked by feminists, at least in this category. The informational filter is so extreme that they're now sending dissenters to jail for coughing in their direction. Guys, words matter. And no, I don't mean that they matter in the way that they should be censored, but in the way where, if we don't have them, we have nothing. When a government of any kind starts coming out and making language a crime, this isn't something that can be dealt with in silence. And the fact that the leadership over there is trying to make the case that young men can't think for themselves, but young women selling clips on the internet can, is only laughable when it's not on its way to becoming a possible law. It's time to get serious again, I'm afraid, because if we don't, these are the leaders of tomorrow.
For me, like, when I ask a guy, like, what is he passionate about? Like, sometimes it's like going to the gym, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, anything else?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I don't think that you're for me, but maybe I have a friend for you. You know? Like, you're so cute. You're so cute before you start talking.
Some people really pride themselves in going to the gym. Like, we'll see it. We'll know if you go. Like,
yeah.
What else do you do?
You're worthless.
The way I used to reject men versus how I reject them now is so funny. Like, I used to be like, oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend, totally single. I'm lesbian before I knew I was bisexual. Like, I used to lie and try to, like, preserve their ego. Now, I'm just like, I'm not attracted to you at all and your breath smells.
You don't reject men. You've never rejected men. And with a face like that, I'm not entirely sure you've ever seen a man. Guys, I'm not saying that torches and pitchforks are the answer here, but what I am saying is that we now need to be increasingly more and more vigilant than ever before. These words these chicks in power despise are the only things standing in the way of total collapse. Our speech is powerful, and it's making an incredible impact on so many men who felt they were living without purpose, without pride, and without the fraternity that makes us so dangerous in their beady little eyes. And the best way to combat this kind of ridiculous pandering that can very well become a 1984 level disaster is to use these words that they fear so much as you possibly can. Sure, keep your distance, don't date, don't marry, don't pay, but that's not enough anymore. Everyone, from their drama-free apartments and homes, no matter their creed or respective principles, must be everything men are supposed to be: ungovernable, strong, learned, and show compassion for their brothers in the trenches. More than ever, these moves the feminist extremists are making, although serious, should be treated as satire. It don't matter what they write on paper. It doesn't matter what they try to pass. It does not matter how childish they choose to be. What matters is that we stay on message. They even admit it. They're shaking at the momentum we've created. They are trembling, and the funniest part is that we haven't done anything but joke around and be solid dudes. So now, it ends.
Didn't you just like graduate high school at 18?
Yeah, I graduated about 2 months ago.
From high school?
Yeah.
So how did we go on your journey from graduating high school to hardcore?
Well, when I turned 18, I had made an OnlyFans because it's very big on the internet now. And so I kind of just wanted to try it. And so I got into that. It didn't really go anywhere. And then last summer, I actually couldn't get a normal job. I applied to so many places, like at least 30 places. And I really wanted to, just have a job, And so I started doing camming. And then I realized, it's cool to have a fan base. It's cool to get income that way where I can just do it from home. It's convenient.
Yeah. Men speaking their minds. That's the thing we should be worried about. Guys, it's clear what has to be done, and as always, the best part is that it's easy. Be you, as much as you possibly can. Stand up for your beliefs, and refuse to tolerate anything they throw in the way of the true path. If you do that, refusing to obey, nothing can stop you. This is the way. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.